Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Honeydew Summer Showdown. Today, we have the full crew back. It's me, Alderia, joined by Rhodes, and of course, our lovely observer, Ecstatic, is back as well. And we're here for a matchup that is, well, possibly would have been overlooked had this week not gone the way it has.
A lot of upsets we have seen over the week. We have New Jeans beating Mythos, Harmony Periwinkle taking down the undefeated giants of Adrenaline, and even Pocky in a way also being an upset, beating Boba, a team that just hasn't looked the same recently. But now we have to look forward to this one where, we are looking at a potential upset of Honeydew with some different roster changes as we have some different players playing in against this RME team.
Yeah, I mean, RME also bringing in Sea Lion, who I believe we have not seen before, unless I am mistaken.
Recently added
Uh, so, I mean, a bit of a change up, but definitely Honeydew. I mean, a very notable change in their roster here. We've got Doppelganger and some young guy. It's Karoo, we've seen before, but still a fairly new addition. So this is very interesting how this is going to shape up. Will these new changes help out Honeydew, or will things go the way we would expect them with Army not having too much trouble keeping Honeydew down?
And we're also going to be heading onto Icebox, and we haven't really seen this map much. It's usually been like a third map, not someone that usually picks it, as RME did actually pick this map courtesy of helping the casters out a bit, of not having to cast Lotus or Haven for once in a series. But yeah.
He said he wanted to give us an interesting matchup, and he said that he wants to, get us off of Icebox, or not Icebox, rather Haven and Lotus. So shout out to him for picking up Icebox.
And the standings now are actually quite in an interesting spot, as Honeydew is now tied for 8th, and if they do lose this match, they will be tied with New Jeans, but if they win it, they can actually get up there with Mythos. So, I mean, this match actually means quite a bit more for seeding for Honeydew, so we need to see what they can do in their second last match of the season, as D Blue is slowly approaching with that, and Rudy Roto's there with the shorty.
Yeah, we know he loves to bring out the shorty, especially on pistol, and it is going amazingly for him as he picks up 3 inside the smoke. Honeydew completely unable to stop him early here. And this is gonna bode poorly as he gets the 4th for this matchup for Honeydew.
That was illegal. There's nothing else to be said. Honeydew, look with eyes, please, because Rudy was able to reload that thing, I believe, twice. And found 4 kills on the round, and now has a Bucky? This is quite the start.
I mean, that does not bode well for Honeydew, honestly. It actually puts a very nervous feeling if you are a fan for them, because if Rudy is allowed to just do stuff like that, and given the confidence to do stuff like that, I don't see a way of Honeydew being able to counteract him, especially with somebody like Nemesis backing him up, as it's Karoo will go down early to this Outlaw. And once again, they are just working into this smoke with Rudy Rojo's on the other side with a shotgun, and he's gonna get one, but quickly traded back. It goes better than the round before. They even get a bit of an opening onto the site here as Nemesis shots go awry, so now has to fall back onto the Sheriff. But this should be a round going the way of RME. Even though Waffle gets one more, it's Wizard to trade it back, and it's all left up to Doppelganger in the 1v3.
And they're going to be flanked as well, Sea Lion with there, unless Wizard doesn't find this kill. I mean, this round is over. That's just well played. Got the opening pick right at the start with the Outlaw. And of course, they just walk into the Bucky of Rudy. They do find some damage back, but it's only 2 kills. So RME will take that every step of the way, as we're going to head to this 3rd round and see what this new Honeydew team can do.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and some decent weaponry also brought over into this next, so they could look to convert this bonus here. Luckily, these Outlaws shouldn't be too much of a problem for Honeydew, as they've all purchased the full armor. They don't want to have too many players going down with light armor against an Outlaw, so it should be okay, theoretically, here for Honeydew, but never count Adrenaline out.
Yeah, this is not Adrenaline, but
RME.
Look at Rudy here. Will take a lot of aggression, has a rifle, which could be huge, and Kiru not paying attention whatsoever will actually give the man advantage to RME early in this round.
Like I said, it's so difficult if Rudy has a lot of confidence in these plays, and that is what has been inspired in him as just gonna keep pushing forward and adding pressure to this mid position. Will eventually reconvene with his teammates, and as C-Line goes down on the A site, it means that it's most likely gonna have to be a retake here from RME in this 4v4. CeeLo cracks it open early though, makes it actually, my bad, lost track of the man count as it's a 4v2. And so now Army looking good on this retake. Rudy creeping in quickly, but Waffle is quick to snuff out his flame to try and stop this retake from coming through. Wizard now is going to tap the spike, trying to get any information, but as the flank comes through from Nemesis, it's going to be a bonus round for RME.
I would say that is worst case scenario for Honeydew. They just got picked off everywhere they went. Literally tried to go mid, didn't work. Tried to go B, didn't work. Tried to go A, and I mean, I think you can guess what the next thing I'm gonna say is. So we need to see what Honeydew can do, because so far it could be a synergy problem. It could just be a dominant RME team that we're looking at. But either way, we need to see some fight back, as we're gonna be heading to an eco with Honeydew, and we need to see if they can stop getting pushed around.
I mean, Army looking to break the curse of this week, which has been the higher seed is continuing to lose. But here so far, a very strong start for them. They are doing very well at counteracting everything that Honeydew is going for. Even when it looks like they've got a foothold, it's quickly stripped away from them. So very well played for RME, and Rudy is just going to continue to get this early value in these rounds. So he pushes forward and gets one, quickly traded back, but... man, the confidence from this man is terrifying.
That's Rudy's third first blood of the game, and now we need to see what HD can do to fight back. Of course, some young guy, I don't know how we're going to be doing that name, but does pick up the rifle, the Gecko. And now we need to see what RME can do, as look at this aggressiveness from D-Blue, looking to potentially find a pick after this retake starts.
Just trying to flush out these positions and move forward. They have the advantage of the better weaponry, and they're going to take that advantage to the max as D-Blue goes down, and so does Waffle. So it means that they can just start to tap this spike and rely on the coverage. The detain does come through from the Thrash, so they could try and stall this out. And if Doppelganger gets one, it's all left up to some one guy. And it's not going to find anyone, as it's a fourth once again here for RME.
The player advantage will do dividends, and I mean, you can't really fight against it, especially with only Sheriff. So now we'll see what Honeydew do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an early timeout from Steph. I mean, we will find out very fast, but we need to see what Honeydew can do into this roster, as we see RME feel very comfortable so far. They haven't stopped Rudy or Nemesis at the start of these rounds whatsoever, and now CeeLo with an op, only 1-1 so far with the Gecko, but hasn't had to do a single thing. Will look to find some opening picks, as it does look like they will be potentially running into it.
You mentioned potential synergy issues with this Honeydew roster being so fresh, and it could definitely be what we're looking at here. RME, yes, do have Sea Lion, but they are a fairly seasoned roster. They've, throughout this entire league, kept pretty consistent players, so they're definitely going to have the advantage in terms of team cohesion and synergy in this matchup, and it's absolutely tearing Honeydew apart, as once again they find themselves at a disadvantage early on in the round. D-Blue has possibly slipped the net here, so could get two, does manage to get that, cracking open this A site, and all of a sudden Honeydew have their first advantage in a round.
That is a big sacrifice play from D-Blue. Did sacrifice a teammate just to get into that position, and it will come out to a net positive, as Kiru has a beautiful positioning here. I don't think RME will really expect it. They're going to have to clear it just a bit, but I don't think the full thing will happen, so this timing will be huge.
It's Karu seems to have the round in the palm of their hands. We'll get one. Sea-Lion quick to trade it back, but now thrusted into the 1v2 here. We'll throw an orb out onto the spike. Wants to try and get some shots, bait it out, and is actually just choosing to stick the spike. And the snake bite is even late. He's just sticking the defuse. And so now Sea-Lion has stolen the round out from underneath Honeydew.
I don't even want to color this. That was bad. Stop playing spam. Just stop, please. Just play on site. You have the numbers. You're fine. Just play on site. Play with each other. Kiru, find a pick. Honeydew, that's a bit disappointing, as Steph will call the timeout. Understandably, they do have a bye coming into this round, but the op reclaimed for CeeLo will definitely help RME out, as they have all the advantages so far in this game. What do you think Honeydew need to do at this point? Because it's just looking dire.
I mean, they need to be playing off of each other. I mean, obviously they're not going to have the same level of cohesion as RME, but we've seen very little trade potential here from Honeydew. It's felt very individual. Even you mentioned earlier, the only way they got into that round was by sacrificing one player and allowing Deep Blue to slip the net. And I mean, yeah, that'll work every now and then, but they need to be playing as a tight-knit team way more here.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have some interesting ultimates on the field too. 2 Blade Storms for the duelists of both teams, and then Waffle has that Hunter's Fury, which can be definitely used really well if they're able to synchronize their utility together, synchronize their push together. That could be a very good pushing power thing. You don't have to use it on your post plant, of course. That is where you're most likely to use it. But with how Honeydew is struggling to get on these sites, I do want to see them maybe playing together, maybe have a good Hunter's Fury push to get on the site and maybe find a player advantage with that, as it doesn't look like it will be neatly used on this A site, as they have fallen off quite a bit and the op is on B.
For me, this Hunter's Fury is going to dictate how this entire matchup is going to go for one simple reason. If they push together off of the back of it and manage to get ground off of it, that looks better. But if they either send it out solo or even send it out in a frivolous post plant, it just doesn't instill confidence in me. And well, there's going to be absolutely no confidence in the Honeydew camp as RME continue to dissect them here on Icebox. Some young guy manages to get one, but is quickly traded back from Rudy, something I said we need to see from Honeydew. RME has in strides. Rudy is just going to continue to try and tear this team apart. Not even looking behind them from the shrouded step. You know what Rudy loves to do, and I feel like whenever you're playing RME, when you hear that, you have to 180. Honeydew asleep at the wheel.
Maybe that is not knowledge given to them, that they are new to this league, they are new to the roster. So maybe they actually haven't had the research told to them or whatnot about what Rudy does, because that could be some inexperience about what kind of matchup you're in for today, which definitely has bit them in the butt a few times now.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that has to be it, or maybe just some negligence, because that is dare I say, a vintage Rudy play. That is what he does. That is the purest form of what he does. There wasn't even a lot of disruption put in the mix for it. He just kind of sent it out, and he's known to do stuff like that. You have to be ready to counteract it, and it doesn't bode well that they just didn't even consider it at all. So now they're forced back onto weaker weaponry. A few rifles forced up here, but I mean, this just looks brutal for Honeydew as they're trying to get through once again on this A site. Actually, it's a fake onto the B site that will net them a plant here. The rest of Honeydew are going to have to rotate back through their spawn to try and play this post plant well. They have the Blade Storms, they have some rifles, and its crew on a Sheriff is going to be the weak link. But some young guy is going to pick off Rudy Rogers. A massive player for RME has been lost in this retake. So they're going to have to try and make things work as they're sending more players forward. The half is gotten, and the wingman will...
No.
They're just sticking it again. There's no way. Honeydew, what are you doing? Just another full stick from RME. Gets them a 7.
We need a no counter for every time I've said no so far. Do I have to say it again? Do I have to? Do it.
I don't think. I mean, at this point, it's obvious, right?
I know we're on the B site. I know. And sorry to cut you off, but I know we're on the B site, and it is the usual plan. But if you don't use your gun to go pew pew onto the person that's on it, because it wasn't even the wingman. CeeLo wasn't even covering the person that was on the spike because they were just holding the wingman out, just waiting to put it on after they died. But CeeLo never died.
I think the most concerning thing about it is,
Oh no.
I mean, this is just going to be a round that they get farmed, I feel. They have rifles, but Rudy is so perfectly positioned for this. And Nemesis here as well, another big factor to RME, is ready to counteract. Does get faked out by the Dizzy that actually ended up being whiffed, but baits out the dash nonetheless. Nemesis put on the back foot here, has to hold things from the back of the site, trying to hold stuff off, but instead it's just Wizard creeping forward on this flank, who will completely take out the spike carrier for Honeydew as they're completely spread out. There's no potential for them to win this round as the Thrash comes through. One is detained.
Just rude.
All up to one player to cover and won't be able to do that. And to wrap back around to my point earlier in the round, I think the most concerning thing about their post planes and their spam is the lack of the snake bite coming out early. I feel like that is the underrated part of what's caused them to struggle so much on their spam, is they're not sending out their utility to counteract the taps.
Especially with the snake bite being nerfed as well, you really need to shoot that out early because the damage just isn't what it used to be, so you're actually able to stay on there a lot longer than you could before it was nerfed. So you definitely need to think about that a lot more, as I mean, CeeLo still has not been punished on this op really whatsoever, but now will cast her curse, I guess, as maybe Honeydew have a chance in this round. They have a lot of ultimates to use, as RME will just push off. Rudy falls down again in the attacker spawn, as Nemesis will get the trade, but this round does look good for Honeydew.
Yeah, they could try and pick this up, but Sea Lion at the back of the site manages to get one more. So alongside of Nemesis, he's going to try to spearhead this retake. Wizard throws down the lockdown as well. Some young guy set up with the Dizzy, but it gets shot out of the air. A counter lockdown sent out as well. And some young guy stands strong inside of this round. Wizard goes down, and so does Sea Lion. And we are looking at the first round for Honeydew, unless Nemesis is able to pull this off. And he can't best its Karoo. Finally, Honeydew break the streak.
It was really looking like we're going to get a 13-0 for a moment, but some young guy will definitely fight for a chance in this game. And now Honeydew, they do have an opportunity to gather some rounds. CeeLo going to buy an operator again. And the ultimate advantage, I would say, is on Honeydew's side. They have a nice Viper's Pit, and they have a Thrash, things that they can definitely use for going in and out. I'm really excited to see what they're able to innovate here, because if they're not mental boomed, they can definitely pull off something really nice, as they're going to be hitting this B side where only one player is.
Yeah, I mean, that Thrash can help them break through onto the site, and the Viper's Pit to hold it down as well. So they have a good combination of utility here, but if someone guys goes out too early, that Thrash is completely off the board. Yes, see, Blue trades it back, but damage has been done. One of your most impactful ults for the round is completely nullified here. And this allows Rudy Rojos to just push up and cause so much disruption here at yellow.
And look at Wizard 2 just holding this with an Outlaw. We do have it's Karoo with the op as well, but can they find the timing? Can Wizard get this pick? No! And Whale, that is so bad for Honeydew.
What a shot from Wizard. The head of Waffle is completely separated from his body. And so now Honeydew have to try and scrap together for this round. They're still contesting mid. And as all their attention is focused towards it, it allows Rudy Rojos to just push up this B main position and get an early start on the flank, which means their A site could be completely cut short. They have to get through Sea Lion, who has been a rock-solid anchor so far for RME. And as the time runs low, they know where this hit is coming through. And Rudy Rojos turns up the aggression. A great shot from Doppelganger, but as Rudy and Sea Lion crunch down on the site, Honeydew fall once again.
They're just being corralled. Honeydew were just herded up like they're goats in a field. I don't know. Some sheep in a field getting attacked by coyotes, because RME are relentless in these pushes, and they have no remorse for what I am watching right now. It is looking like an absolute stomp, but maybe we can see more out of Honeydew. Of course, this is Icebox, a map that most teams don't really practice whatsoever, and from my knowledge, Honeydew do not practice this map at all. So, I mean, this could just be a map differential of just not being played, not playing with a team. But either way, this is an anti-banger compared to what we've seen in other matches this week so far.
I mean, definitely a bit disappointing. Now, this is RME's map pick. Maybe this is just a tale of two maps. Maybe Honeydew will bounce back on their own, but right now it is sheer and utter dominance here from RME. Nemesis holding off at yellow with an op, and might not even need to use it as Wizard takes one out from the back, and Sea Lion contributes as well. This is all falling apart once again for Honeydew. Some missed shots is going to mean that everyone is going to go down, and it's all left up to Doppelganger, who can't do anything in the clutch. And so it's 10-1, a horrific half for Honeydew.
I mean, we still have one round, but, you know, it is either way a horrific half. I mean,
yeah.
This is over. I mean, maybe they can use the Thrash to salvage another, but from what we've seen so far, it feels like there's no fight. It feels like RME are just playing with Iron players at this point. They're just playing so well together and as a team. And even with the new player of Sea Lion, we're really not seeing any differences in the dominance from RME.
Shortest series in the league, maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. We still have another game to go, and we know Honeydew can put up a fight. They're able to put up a lot of rounds even against these good teams. So now we need to see what happens as Server getting a bit freaky there, and Rudy Rojo's in this. Oh no, not again. Not again. No!
It's free! Oh my god, Rudy could have quite possibly the craziest ace that we have seen in this series, or in this entire league rather, as he sees the last player. He's gonna get the ace, and that is absolutely absurd.
No, there's no words. As our observer freaks out, and I'm even inside, I'm just astonished at what I just watched as Honeydew again. They didn't do their homework, I guess. Rudy is the master of teleportation and just goes behind the team. No one checks behind, and it's the freest kills I think you'll ever see in your life. And yeah, congratulations, Rudy, man. Just congrats.
It's gonna be a short highlight video, but at least it'll have that in it. God damn.
That is probably the best ace, or the most hype ace that we're actually going to be able to see probably in this tournament. It's the most high impact, high action ace, I guess you can see, as Honeydew is pushing forward, looking for some sort of round.
Dude, Rudy is so confident right now, just pushing up with the shorty. He's gonna find himself a 20th kill inside of this matchup. Teleporting forward, there is no fear in this man as he's just barreling through this site, caught out in the open, so will go down, and it looks like Honeydew could possibly convert this pistol, as it's all left up to Wizard and Nemesis. As Nemesis goes down, it's left up to Wizard on low HP. Honeydew do manage to bounce back inside of the pistol, but it feels like too little too late.
I mean, they got a pistol. Congratulations, Army. We're kind of just running around trolling. You saw Rudy just jumping around with a shorty on the rafters. So, I mean, hey, they won a round. Maybe they can stack some things together. Maybe just get the confidence up for next game. Because we have seen stumps before. We've seen games that we've just said, hey, this series is over right away. But these teams can come back. Like, just because you lose one map, that doesn't mean you lose the series. You're just down 1-0. You can win the next two. And the next two maps are maps that Honeydew is very familiar with. They love Ascent. They picked Ascent. They haven't picked it recently because it's kind of like their hold on pick for like the future. And now they also pick Bind, which is something they've won on before as well. So we will see definitely what happens as Army are looking for a potential trophy.
Yeah, but luckily Honeydew seem fairly strong in this round. Its crew does go down to Cielo. So, or CeeLo rather, I believe we were, or no, it was Cielo.
It was Cielo, yeah.
Yeah, it was. All right. So luckily Cielo will try and get things going here for RME to send us to map 2 early. The Doppelganger gets one onto Wizard. It is all left up to 2 players from RME, and they're even removed from the spike position as well. They do have an angle for spam, but if there's a Viper Orb available, they could completely cut this off. Cielo gets one onto Samuel guy. And so now it's all left up to Cielo with the Guardian in hand, but isn't able to best Doppelganger, and luckily Honeydew stay alive for this round.
They do, and they don't take the most damage in the world, so there is definitely a chance they can win their bonus, but we need to see what happens as Doppelganger and D Blue need to come up huge. Even Kiru as well has an Outlaw. This is the Outlaw round, and Wizard and Cielo need to be careful because they do have half armor. Even Nemesis has half armor as well, so this is definitely doable for Honeydew if they can hit their shots.
Yeah, definitely invested a little bit into that last round, and even though he got the plant down, not able to get all of the not in as good of an economic position, I should say, as they would prefer, as some utilities are forfeited and some players have light armor. These outlaws could definitely tear through, and as Nemesis takes out D-Blue, it's not before D-Blue gets one onto Cielo. Losing your Gecko is absolutely brutal here. It could allow Honeydew to spiral a bonus round.
The only problem is trying to do this retake with an Outlaw is quite difficult. I mean, we have seen them do crazier things. RME will be pushing back as well, so the Outlaws do have some sort of a chance here, but we will definitely find out as... I mean, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting retake for Honeydew.
I mean, Army's so low here. They want to play the spam because they don't want to take these gunfights head on. Their HPs are so low, and so now it's all eyes on Sea Lion because it's the only one with HP to work with. He's tagged by an outlaw. He's put on 10 HP, but beautiful shots. And oh my god, what a clutch from Sea Lion! Gets the 4K to secure match point, and Army crushed the dreams of Honeydew.
Yeah, this game's over. Sea Lion just going crazy. I mean, the whole team's really going crazy. We've seen so much good stuff. We have 20 kills in 15 rounds for Rudy Rojos. I mean, there's not much else to say besides that. Besides, Honeydew need to figure out what they're going to do on map 2, because this map isn't it. As I have some depressing news to report, Thunder Thieves just lost Ascent.
Oh man, we were watching that matchup before we started the stream, and both of us big 100 Thieves fan, and now we will cry ourselves to sleep.
Here we go now. Thrush does come out on site. This is a chance as Kiru does fall. This is not good already for Honeydew.
And I mean, even their economy not the best, and Rudy just pushing up with a Bucky manages to get one more as well. Pulling out the classic to contest at long range, trades out the Bucky for a Vandal and is just sending it forward and absolutely dismantles Honeydew. What a clinical performance from Rudy Rojos to secure Icebox.
It's like this is a jungle gym for him.
No.
He's just jumping around, teleporting. He's just chilling as a flawless for RME will win map 1 on Icebox 13-3.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried we were going to see a knife kill there off the detain, but as we come to a close on that map, we will pull in Rudy for a post-map interview on possibly one of the shortest maps of the entire league. Hello, Rudy. Congratulations on the Icebox win. I'm sure went exactly how you guys expected and were planning.
Yeah, it actually did.
A very one-sided affair there, and so I just kind of wanted to ask you, we know that Honeydew has had a lot of changes in their roster as of late. Do you think that is one of the major contributing factors as to why it was so one-sided on Icebox there?
I'll be honest, I did know that changes were coming. I do think that, yeah, it may have some factors just because maybe they haven't practiced with this team as often as they have with their other team. But I still feel with either roster, whether they had the roster they practiced with or not, it still would have came out to the same outcome.
Oof.
I did want to ask you about your particular ace. Yeah, what do you think about when you do that?
You'll be happy to know the entire thing was caught on stream. We were on your POV for the whole thing, so congratulations for that.
Honestly, thinking about that. Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
Can you just expand upon your decision making and just what went into getting that ace in general?
So the decision there was just I know that a lot of teams expect me to play my smoke, which is why I kind of did a little fluctuation of I did and I didn't. At that point, I just kind of timing to when the ult came out and prayed that Gecko was far enough to where it gave me the split-second decision to go through. I did have a moment of panic when I noticed that the Gecko was coming back towards the teammates. So I had to make quick decision making on who I killed first, and it just ended up working out perfectly.
And your next map is Ascent, I believe. And again, we haven't really seen it too much on the cast, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts as Honeydew have been actually quite confident in this map recently. So I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on heading into it.
Heading into it, I'm confident. My team, we practiced it a lot. We haven't played it a lot, but we have practiced a lot, and we have our plays, our defense, our attack ironclad. So I have a lot of confidence going into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it would be pretty hard to not have high confidence after a 13-3 scoreline and specifically 23-10 from you. As for us, we'll be throwing it to a quick 5-minute break before we go into Ascent. We are back after that incredibly one-sided icebox match, and the nightmares for Honeydew seem to only get worse as RME have managed to even get in their main roster player of Mr. Seed. So Sea Lion will be subbing out here, and this is terrifying for Honeydew.
I mean, terrifying's an understatement, especially if Mr. Seed locks in this raise, which he will. He is one of the most fierce raise players in this tournament, juggles from the duelist and the sentinel position. And whenever he's on this duelist, man, you don't want to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's like I said, this is just kind of worst case scenario for Honeydew. You already lost your last map in such a heart-crushing fashion, and now you have to go up against what is, I mean, at least on paper, an even stronger roster. Not that Sea Lion did poorly, but like you said, Mr. Seed is just that. I mean, that terrifying on the raise.
Yeah, and especially that the synergy is 100% now. We talked about briefly that Army could have potential synergistic problems like Honeydew has had, as we saw. But there is no excuses now for RME. They are at full power, and now we need to see if Honeydew are able to fight it. Maybe Mr. Seed might troll a little. Maybe Steph gave some money to Rudy to ease up on the killing. But I mean, we're gonna have to find out as this powerful Army roster starting on defense, and they did not let almost anything through on Icebox.
Yeah, and I mean, now starting out on the defensive side of Ascent is, I mean, an ideal situation. They have a lot of momentum, they've got a lot of confidence, and now they get to transfer it into what is a very defender-sided map. I mean, it just looks like there's no way in for Honeydew right now.
I mean, we will find out very fast as the mind control effort always go A on first round. Looks like it is the play, and we got Mr. Seed, like we talked about here as well, looking to probably try and find an opening pick. So I'm interested to see what happens early as the jump peaks will come in, and now we'll see what Honeydew actually do decide to do. They're actually expecting a lot of aggression that didn't actually come, so the one way will come out and stall them for just a moment, but it does look like they're looking to be aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. And Mr. Seed is going to be on the receiving end of a lot of that aggression. Throws out the paint shells to stall it a little bit, and a smoke to assist as well from Rudy Rojos. So now Nemesis and Mr. Seed, two very proficient players on this RME roster, are set up to succeed here on the site. It's all up to Nemesis as its crew gets Mr. Seed, but Cielo is now here to support and gets two and a third as well. Beautiful shots from Cielo, and absolutely insane heroics to give a pistol for RME.
Cielo went heaven and said hello to HD, just comes right into her open arms. And that is the freest 4K we've seen in a while, and that also makes it so she can get a Odin right off the bat, and that is one scary Sova. Good thing Honeydew will go nowhere near, but you gotta think if you're Honeydew, we need that pistol round to get some confidence into this game.
Yeah, I mean, if they go towards this B side, they're going to get absolutely mowed through. Luckily, they have decided to go towards A instead, it seems. So they'll look to try and find better success than they did in the pistol, but as they only have classics, I'm hard-pressed to think that they will find that success.
I wonder if Rudy smokes this. He won't, so they will actually know that he is on the flank and will stall out this Honeydew push. And now we'll see what Honeydew needs to do, because they know it's most likely Rudy, like about 99%. This is a Rudy Rojos push, as they are kind of getting close. I'm a bit surprised. I wouldn't think you want to get close, because you kind of got to think he has a Bucky, as that is a... Okay, never mind. Yeah, Doppelganger with a bad knife will not find much.
Yeah, I mean, he always has the Bucky here on the second round, and they're just feeding these close range engagements to him. He's gonna rack up 2 kills for his trouble. Honeydew is getting absolutely torn apart here, even teleporting in towards the back, and gets a 4th and possibly another ace, but no, shut down by Doppelganger. It's all gonna come down to him in the 1v4 and can't do anything.
I think we need a coach cam like they do in VCT, Because I do not. Well, I kind of want to see what Steph's face is, because that is not what you want for Honeydew at all. You're pushing the person that you know has a Bucky or shotgun of any kind, most likely. And even after the first shot, they still kind of stayed in the same place. And then he just able to rack up the kills, finds 4 on the round, and narrowly dies the Kiru, I believe. So good opening rounds for RME, losing almost nothing, and now, I mean, Rudy's back on the Bucky again.
And they're going towards B as well. They could be absolutely torn apart by this Odin, which is the strongest weapon on RME's lineup here. They could be absolutely shredded through if they're not careful. Instead, they're going to decide to split into mid here. They want to gain more map control. It's Rudy here to greet them with a shotgun on his smoke once again. It's Karu that wins that heads-up gunfight. So now, Rudy will not be able to replicate the success from round 2. Instead, it's Cielo to step up and try and get going what she had on round 1. Nemesis contributes as well. And so now it's Honeydew left in a stressful situation. Doppelganger tries to pull things back and gets 1 kill on this B site, trying to find an opening here. And it's Karu will grab that opening by the throat, but Mr. Seed is quick to respond. Mid is in absolute pandemonium, and it results in Honeydew trying to secure this B site. Doppelganger creeping forward, gets 1 more, but Mr. Seed brings it to a 1v1. It's all up to Waffle as he rotates around spawn.
That was a bonanza in the market area. Kills going back and forth. Doppelganger does find the advantage for just a moment for Honeydew until Mr. Seed with that flying judge will even it back up. It's a 1v1. Waffle still looking for their first kill in the round or in this game, and Mr. Seed is gonna look to attack this spot. Doesn't know exactly where Waffle is, so we'll just try and prowl around. Does have the paint shells to potentially push them out of a certain position as well, but we're gonna find out, as this is gonna be a very interesting retake.
He has the read on their position, and doesn't seem like he does as he sends the paint shell to a different position, turns his back, so Waffle wins the 1v1, and disaster is avoided for Honeydew, but at the cost of so much economic damage.
About almost everything, yeah, and I mean, they will look to force here, which I don't blame them really, but it is kind of a bad situation. You do have some advantages, of course, with the null command for KO, looking to potentially go on this B side, will completely lock down Wizard's utility, but that Odin still is right there, and I feel like they're about to get spammed and need to be very careful.
Yeah, it feels like such a volatile matchup here for Honeydew, because every time they get any kind of success, it comes at such a massive cost, and it's all gonna fall apart outside of B main. Everyone from Honeydew is felled in a matter of seconds, and they don't even get to leave spawn.
You know, we didn't even get to see a play there. I mean, Nemesis just runs down, of course, with Mr. Seed, satchels as well to bait them out a bit, and Nemesis finds a 3k. There's no stopping RME either. There's like no time to call much, as they just got mowed down, and that looked so easy for RME, as it's 3-1 in this game, and now we're at a standstill where what can Honeydew do again? This is exactly like Icebox. It feels like they're stuck.
And they don't even have anything to work with in this round. I mean, 2 sheriffs, but beyond that, it's just complete mismatch of weaponry here. And Mr. Seed's gonna call that shot and take out 2 players. Rudy quick to trade back the lost player of Mr. Seed. And I mean, yeah, this is looking like a round that Honeydew are just going to have to say goodbye to.
I mean, they do find some damage, we'll give them that, but I don't think it's much, as, I mean, Wizard, right when they peek this, is probably just gonna spam the rest of Kiru's life away. And that is just tag team in there. Mr. Seed and Rudy just able to push mid together, able to catch Honeydew off guard once again, and gave them the huge advantage in this round. Of course, you can give your props now to Honeydew that they did find 3 picks, but it's not enough, even on the eco, and you're down by this much. Nemesis will pay off the final kill, but RME have run away with this game, and Honeydew need to find something as they're down 4-1 with a bye round coming up.
Yeah, I mean, this just... I don't want to call it over quite yet. This is Ascent. It's very defender-sided, but this matchup in general has just not been Honeydew's day. In fact, it is quite the opposite. It is RME's day. They are flaunting their stuff today.
Yeah, and now we need to see what Honeydew can do to flaunt back. They have a lockdown. They have the no command. They can get onto the site very easily. So now we need to see them fight back against this very dominant army squad. They're playing so slow towards this B side, not making any moves just yet. But look how much aggression is coming here. Some guy is actually might have the timing on this as well, as look at all the RME players pushing this mid side. This Omen could find a huge timing. Or is AFK?
No way. He tried to play the trigger discipline, I think, and just goes down with nothing to show for it. Either that or some shots were whiffed, and it's just going to allow RME to once again completely dissect Honeydew. It's all left up to Doppelganger once again in a 1v4. Manages one kill, but brought down to 50 HP. Does get a second here, so possibly could try and make the difference inside of this round. An insane shot as well. So it's now all left up to Wizard in the 1v1, and he gets shut down. A ray of hope for Honeydew is quickly snuffed out.
Doppelganger had to do the 50-50, he just chose the wrong side, and Wizard will always punish you on that. That was so close. That was almost some hope for Honeydew. If they can salvage a second round, that would be so huge. Yes, they would still be in quite a bad position economically, but either way, that damage they could have done the RME there would have been definitely a difference maker in this game, as now the advantages for RME are up. They have a Showstopper, no command, and a Hunter's Fury to work with. This is not looking good for Honeydew, but they are going to be pushing mid, and this definitely could be a very good trap play for RME.
And they're not even checking the corner to where Rudy Rojos is, and it's just going to allow him to get one kill and quickly be backed up by Wizard as well. Pushing through the smoke, and Wizard is just going to continue to farm this mid position, and it's all going to fall apart at the wayside. This is RME running away with the series.
There's not really much to cast right now, I'll be fully honest. It's heartbreaking if you're a Honeydew fan, but we got a timeout. Maybe Steph can install some confidence. Again, this team has gone over another rebuild on their roster. They need to figure it out, and the synergy is just not there, and with the full brunt of all the RME players with each other, you can really tell the difference of what is happening, and now we need to see what Honeydew can do to try and do anything, literally anything in this matchup to maybe look reasonable, because this does not look good for them as they head into their final week next week. And I want to also bring this up too. This is RME's final game of the regular season. This is it for them. If they win this, they are 6-2, and they are tied for second. And unless Boba do beat GFU next week, I believe Boba do get the second place. So this is actually somewhat of an important matchup if RME can potentially snake the second place marker out from Boba.
Yeah, I mean, Boba having a bit of fall from form in the most recent matchups, losing to Adrenaline, and then obviously losing as well to, I am blanking right now, Pocky. So we could see RME overtake that second place spot, which, I mean, they'll take, and that'll be definitely beneficial going forward here into the playoffs. Is just going to be not only confidence, but it's going to affect their seeding. Oh my god, what a shot from CeeLo. Takes out 2 players for 1. And it's just all falling apart here for Honeydew. It feels like there's no way into this match unless we see heroics from some player. Waffle gets 1, so they do secure the B site, but as all of RME are regrouping, I mean, botch shock dart there, and RME have regrouped and are looking to re-aggress the site here. Mr. Seed takes out Doppelganger on a trade, so it's all left up to Waffle and some yum guy. Waffle, who opened up the round. We need to see some kind of step up, but it's actually some yum guy who gets a double kill and secures a second round here for Honeydew.
I'm sorry, what did Mr. C just do? Did he just get hit by the knife?
He got hit by the knife as he popped his ult.
All right, so I was really confused because he double satchels in, and it looked like he was quite confused why he had his gun out. And I mean, they did finally manage around again, Doppelganger being the main focal point right now for Honeydew, staying alive and able to get some stuff done. So now Honeydew actually do have a chance to come back in it now. Yes, this is very slight, but they do have the guns. They have some good ultimates. We need to see what they are able to do as RME are probably going to be quite aggressive again. You see Rudy already making this mid presence.
I mean, with how defender-sided this map is, four would be enough, right? Like, it would be enough to justify your half, but as they're trapped in a corner, D-Blue goes down to the nade from Mr. Seed, who has been absolutely stellar in this matchup, and Rudy, even on the flank, takes out 2 more. It's all left up to It's Karu, who is on the other side of the map. Does have the spike. He's trying to get this plant down, and having to dance with the Hunter's Fury here, not able to get it down, is just going to be run at. No way to win this round. RME are not relenting.
This 2-player fake that Honeydew keep doing is really interesting because it hasn't really worked for them much. Every time they try and go for it, one of the players get picked or the other side just gets absolutely destroyed, so it's a 2v5. It just hasn't really worked just yet. They keep trying it, so we need to see some maybe more adaptability from the team and maybe a different play to work with, because it didn't look very good there. And now RME are up 7-2, and like you said, if you're Honeydew, you maybe want at least 4, but I think if you're Honeydew, you would want at least 5 or 6, because it's just the amount of strength we're seeing from RME is just so overpowering, as D-Blue needs to be huge with this Blade Storm up on Cat.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, they've got to take what they can get, and at this point, it's not very much, as D-Blue is trying to barrel through with this Blade Storm, as I believe is hit with a null command. Can't rely on it anymore. This is all going to be up to the Classic. It's Screw, quick to trade back. Rudy Rojos goes down with only 1 kill to show for it, but Mr. Seed in this tree position has been so impactful. Wizard on the other side of the map will take out Doppelganger, which allows all of RME to just set up for the rest of this hit that looks to be going through on the A side, but they're very spread out here. They could go anywhere.
And Kiru actually hit the alarm bot too, so they know exactly what is happening around this map. As you see the lockdown come down, this hurts Honeydew so much. They do have his Hunter's Fury to cancel it out, but look how spread out the members of Honeydew are. If they get picked off, this could look really bad, but of course they do have these very good flanking positions that could find some picks, and Kiru does find 1. It's a 3-3.
And Waffle picks up 1 as well. Mr. Seed equalizes to a 2v2, and so now it's a retake situation once again. Honeydew is going to double up in the back of the site as the From the Shadows is popped. So now we're looking at a very standard retake here. Who will come out on top?
No ults are here either.
Yeah, no ults available and only a little bit of utility to work with, but Honeydew will not have access to it for a few seconds, which RME are going to take advantage of, pushing forward, and Mr. Seed gets the opener on Waffle. It's all left up to some young guy and can't manage anything. So now it is another win for RME as they look to put Ascent in the books as well.
That just looked routine as well. It just looked like they're just playing comp at this point. And I mean, we're just seeing so much confidence from RME, and on the other side of Honeydew, just not seeing enough. D-Blue still has yet to record a kill on this Jet, and I mean that is probably the most important character on an Ascent match. You gotta find some kills and some money to get better guns, and it's just not working out for them so far as they're forced back onto an eco. RME up 8-2 in the half, and it could very well be 8 or 9-2 in just a moment, but who knows, as we see aggression come from RME, and HD needs to capitalize off it.
Yeah, they know that Honeydew doesn't have the strongest weaponry, so they're trying to take advantage of it, but Honeydew are instead choosing to just turn up the aggression themselves. They've shot straight up through mid, and now they've retained control of market and the spawn of RME. They lose 1 player in the process, and RME is going to be hearing these rotates in. It all comes down to a very awkward anchor situation, and some young guy even gets one onto Rudy. Doppelganger quick to take out Wizard, only good for 1, so it's up to CeeLo a lot here, it feels. split between multiple angles, trying to get some kind of opening into this round. We could see it, Honeydew managing to bounce back with lower weaponry. They need to hold on to this tree control though, and Mr. Seed is looking to be the one to assault it. Doesn't land any of the initial shots, but Nemesis is there to support. So it all comes down to a 1v3 for Doppelganger. We've seen some insane heroics, and he has the Odin towards the back of the site, playing inside of Hell, throws out a nade to try and dissolve this defuse, and gets one kill as well, gets a second, and Doppelganger with the dink on the last, but Cielo finishes it off and avoids travesty for RME.
Doppelganger is just so close to these clutches every time, but just can't pull it out as Cielo will stop at nothing to win this game. And of course, the dink with the Odin always feels bad because it just doesn't do enough damage, and definitely feels that now. As I mean, I liked what Honeydew did there. I really do. They changed it up. They didn't go for the same thing they gone every time. And they found a winning position, just didn't find the kills in tree. It did feel like they whiffed. Of course, we didn't see the player point of view for it, but it did kind of look like they whiffed on some of the shots, and that did definitely kind of feel like the biggest blow towards them, as now we need to see if they can scavenge another round. Maybe a 9-3 curse can come their way as Rudy finds deeply.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, that has got to be heartbreaking for Doppelganger, being so close to two different clutches, but now just denied once again at the last hurdle. So Honeydew are sent back to the drawing board. They've managed a 1v1 or 1-for-1 inside of this round. As they're taking this A site, so much of RME is set up to counteract it. They are stalled out a little bit, so it gives Honeydew some time to stabilize here, and Mr. Seed even trades out for a rifle here instead of the AWP. No command is popped here from Doppelganger, so he's gonna stall out any utility impact from the retaking side of RME. It's gonna come down to the gunfights, and all of Honeydew are just focusing on stalling out this timer, but it's left them asleep at the wheel for the gunfights. It's all up to the two players inside of A main as taps on the spike come through, and they all go down. It's RME to secure a 10-2.
Routine, synergy, playmaking abilities, that is what this team has, and they've shown no remorse in this game. They look even more dominant than they did on Icebox. In Icebox, it did look shaky. It did look a few clutches had to come through. But so far on Ascent, besides maybe 2 throws of player advantages, this has looked completely clean so far for the side of RME. Honeydew needs... This does kind of feel... I will say, this is probably over for Honeydew, and they just need to save face at this point. They need to figure out what they're going to do next week against Mythos, I believe. Yes, they are versing Mythos for that 7th place spot. Honeydew, they need to look better than they do today, because this is just not their day. But I don't know. We need to see something now, as they're going to be pushing aggressive.
Yeah, trying to take advantage a little bit of the team play with Paranoia coming out, but even still, it's not enough to make up for the gap in mechanical skill here, as RME come out victorious in those engagements. And even Rudy, trying to get an early pick with this shorty. He's playing close on the door, knows that Honeydew are just gonna be so scared here. He's taking advantage of that, throws out the Paranoia. It's Karoo goes down, and this round has fallen apart. We're seeing the end of the series, I feel.
Yeah, so I'll give Honeydew one thing. They do win something today. They do win the fastest series of the tournament. Congrats. Very, very proud of you guys. This feels like a beating. This feels like when when you think you can fight your dad, and you're like 4 years old, and you're like, "Hey, Dad, let me fight you. I'm gonna beat you." And then he just puts his hand on your head, and you just try and run at him, but you can't. You know, that is exactly how this is.
I thought you were gonna go more the route when like you're a teenager and you think you can beat your dad, and he just kind of like punches you once in the chest and knocks the wind out of you. You know?
I mean, that's
the route. I thought that's the route you were gonna go instead of punting 4-year-olds. Oh my god, that's fair. Some young guy though gets a 3K with the sheriff here, and so now all of a sudden RME are in a rough situation. They're left trying to recover here. CeeLo posted up with the Ares, waiting for some kind of overextension, but Honeydew are not giving up this advantage that they've secured. Very understandable, as they haven't had a lot throughout this series.
So I'm wondering if Rudy Rojo's check got lost in the mail or something. Steph was supposed to send that out to him like a few days ago. I think it maybe went to his spam folder or something. I think he has to check that real quick. Either way, Honeydew have a chance here, and they're going to be pushing onto this site where it is only Waffle needs some help, and we'll see how this transpires.
They don't check his position though, and so Waffle's able to get 1 kill, and that's all left up to Cielo. 4 kills on the round, and looking to get the ace to pull this round over the line for RME. It's Karoo. It comes down to the timing and gets exactly that in lane. So it's a rogue energy thrifty here for Honeydew.
I mean, they did the second round conversion. You know, their curse worked. Woo! Good for them. You know,
Just a bit too late.
just slightly late. You know, I mean, hey, maybe they can stack this up. Maybe this is the biggest comeback we have seen in Honeydew Showdown history. This is going to be the craziest thing we've ever seen, and come back to this in about 5 minutes because that's probably not happening. But we can see what they can do.
If Honeydew win this, I will, in our show match, I will eat a sock, like physically. That is how little I believe in this. I'm a notorious hopium huffer, you know, always believing in the comeback, but this just feels too much. It's been too much of a gap between these two teams.
I mean, a gap is an understatement. It's been a canyon. It's been a ravine. It's been... Holy hell, this is like versing. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, we'll see what happens.
You want to play Minecraft sometime?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Love me some craft. D-Blue, searching for his first kill. Can he find it soon?
Wait, has D-Blue not gotten a kill? Oh, no. Oh, I mean, at this point, I feel like the main casting is just gonna. Cool. I feel like at this point it's kind of just the casting comes down to waffling about waiting for the inevitable end of this match. Yes, Honeydew might stall it out, but I mean, RME might even secure this round. You never know, but D-Blue looking to get his first kill on the board here. Shot goes awry, and it's Karoo instead. Steps up inside of the site. CeeLo goes down. And these players are still far removed, but Mr. Seed on the other side of the map has secured a kill onto Waffle, potentially a way into this round, but the time is so low. They've got to get the spike over there quickly, and they have managed to get it there with only 4 seconds to spare. It will go down. Some young guy gets one onto Rudy, so there's still a foothold in this round for Honeydew. They're not quite at the disadvantage, but it still feels like it could spiral at any point as all of RME are set up in different positions. They could pick these players off one by one, and Mr. Seed starts it out. Wizard goes down inside of B main though, so Mr. Seed trying to activate from the market position only has a classic to work with and has to best doppelganger, which he can't, and some young guy manages to win out on site as well, so Honeydew secure a 4th, but D-Blue still has 0.
Yeah, that was all I was looking at, Dury. I have no idea what just happened in the round. All I was looking at is, does D-Blue get the kill here? And unfortunately doesn't. As, I mean, Doppelganger is just completely carrying this team right now. 17 and 14 and 6. I mean, that is a lot of kills as the rest of the team just isn't stepping up to the plate. I guess they just didn't get the memo, and...
I mean, some young guy has had moments of promise, definitely more impact kills than anything, right? We've seen Doppelganger rack up a lot of kills that in the end didn't matter, but some young guy, it feels like when they're getting impact, it leads to a round win, it feels like.
I will say some guy has had more impact kills than D-Blue this game.
Man, we gotta stop ragging on our boy D-Blue. It's, you know, we all have those games, but we also get crap when they happen, so I don't feel that bad.
4v4 though, let's see what... D-Blue did it! He did it!
D-Blue gets his first kill, and it's gonna lead Honeydew to another round win, and screw it, the Hopium's back. I'm inspired for a comeback as D-Blue has put faith in my brain. I don't know. I should have said heart.
In the brain, that is where the faith comes from.
That's where hope comes from, right? The brain.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Egyptians would back me up.
Can he get the second? This is the biggest moment of the life. Can he get 2 in the round? Everyone else needs to stop peeking, please. Can he find the top shot?
Oh, come on.
Ooh, it's going back
Yes.
and forth. It's
Yes.
going back and forth. Who knows how it's gonna go? 38 seconds remaining. Will Debu get overzealous? Will he push? We're gonna find out. It's so close. I'm gonna stop casting like this because this is really stupid.
Now throwing out the turret here. D Blue looks to post up for the kill, but it's damn it. Waffle takes it.
He got one though. He
He did get one. D Blue has woken up inside of map 2.
You could say he won the game.
Won that round. They would not have won that round without that highly impactful op kill. I don't even remember who he killed, I'm gonna be honest.
It's fuzzy memory. I think it was CeeLo, I think.
Yeah, huge kill. CeeLo's insanely impactful. That's 15 to 9, right? Like, that's a big kill.
I mean, goated on the sticks.
Goated on the sticks.
Played league with them a few hours ago. There.
Isn't goated on the sticks mean that they play on controller?
You don't play on keyboard sticks?
Yeah, no, I didn't
keyboard.
get that new. I didn't get that new keyboard with the sticks. D Blue looking to get a second kill. Doesn't quite get it. Instead, just gets attacked to the wall. So it's Doppelganger to start picking up these kills inside of tiles. Drop down to 49 HP. But he's done his damage for this match. Yes, D Blue gets a second kill, and so
Revenge.
now it's Honeydew looking to put another round on the board here.
I mean, this is potentially 4 in a row now. We're actually getting to the point where this is actually close. This is doable.
Close.
Of course, I am being a bit over with that, but it is potential, you know? They're not on match point RME, so...
Look, like I said, I am now on the train for this comeback to happen, right? And so as they secure another round, Doppelganger gets 4. Confidence overflowing, hopefully, for this player to try and propel them forward in ascent on this comeback. Echo is so pressed, wants to take a timeout.
He probably just wants to tell RME to just cool down, stop doing this stupid crap, and just end the game. Most likely. Because it does feel like if Doppelganger stays alive, Doppelganger stays alive, Honeydew just, they're able to actually do a lot.
Oh my god, it is Doppelganger. Yeah. Holy crap, how did we... wow, I didn't even notice. Well...
but yeah. Well, we need to see
Doppelganger.
something.
What the hell? Or wait, yeah, wait.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. My brain's confused. I don't know what I was thinking for a second there. I was thinking like that D was a B, and then like we were messing up saying it the whole time or something.
The D is a B.
I had a mild stroke.
Doppelganger. The D is a B, eh?
No, I think I was thinking of Danger or something. I don't know, man. I had a mild stroke. It's fine.
And I would just see what RME can do, as Honeydew are on a 4-round heater. And I mean, we don't know if they're slipping just yet, but like you pointed on earlier in the match, defense is the side that Ascent is most proficient on. So maybe there actually is a chance for Honeydew to get back into this.
Yeah, I mean, they now have to stabilize after Echo calling timeout, which I feel as though RME have been pretty good at converting rounds after a timeout, and well, it'll allow them to take the A site for free. They're opting for a 5v5 post plant, but it's actually a 5v4 post plant, as Mr. Seed, a little bit of over aggression here, gets taken out by its Karoo. And that even gives the potential for this lockdown as well. All of a sudden, Honeydew is once again in the driver's seat for this round.
And a Karoo finds super aggression.
What insane aggression from its Karoo. CeeLo able to keep things at least manageable here. And the Hunter's Fury is popped on the tap of the spike. Quick to back off of it though, as they want to keep these guns up. The defuse is being stuck, and there's even false confidence of the spam killing the diffuser, as it's just the coverage that was taken out. It's all Honeydew across the feed.
I mean, again, if you keep Doppelganger alive, that is gonna hurt you, as that 0 point from him, just stopping the Hunter's Fury, just completely nullifies all the delay that RME really wanted to do there. It really hurt the few seconds that they probably needed. And I don't want to discount either. It's Karoo with that really nice aggression play, making sure that even though she did get traded out, it still got the trade, and it turned it into a 4v3, which was so important for Honeydew.
Yeah, and so now it's, I mean, it's a 5-round streak here for Honeydew. This is a actual comeback that we could be looking at. Hardy Roadhose is tagged through the wall by an op, so brought down so low. They do manage to take out D-Blue, and they get one more onto its Karoo as well. So Rudy is going to pick up this op, try and make it work with the lower HP. And Honeydew, you have to have some kind of bounce back here. Doppelganger is still alive. The impact player for this comeback so far still has a voice in this round. It's going to be an execute onto the B site here for RME.
Also, I just noticed, did they fix the game, or can I see utility on the map again?
Yeah, I can see it as well. We still have had that, I don't know if you guys see this from the observer point of view, but at least from us following Aesthetic, we sometimes lose the diffuse. So that's still around, but hopefully... Oh, what a shot here from Rudy, though. Looks like, I was going to say hopefully we can see this comeback continue, but he seems to crush the dreams of that. The Nemesis even continues to do so. It's all left up to some young guy who's been rather impactful throughout this map, but is left with a 1v2, and as he's stalled out by the Nano Swarm, will have no time to breach through onto this site, and it's gonna be RME claiming the rounds. Yes, you'll get some kills, but it's a hollow victory.
Yeah, I mean, they did find some kills, but now it is finally match point for RME, something they've been searching for a while. This match has gone on quite a long time now. But there is potential still for Honeydew, as the off is found in D-Blue's hands, can definitely do some damage. We haven't seen the most luck so far, has found 3 picks, but you need to find some more impactful frags if they do want the chance to get back in, as RME are looking so strong heading into this potential final round, but the guns are on Honeydew's side. The money is still on Honeydew's side, so we need to see what they can do.
I mean, I feel like if we're going to keep seeing D-Blue trying to pick up this op, for giving up the versatility of a rifle, you need to see massive picks, and we just have not seen that thus far. Rudy, who appears to only have a ghost inside of this round, perhaps forgot to buy, maybe? I'm not sure, but Mr. Seed to get one on the other side of the map, and Rudy is just going to recover the spike here with the From the Shadows, and it looks like this is going to be the end of this matchup, as multiple players from Honeydew go down. It's a plant on the B site. They have to scramble to try and retake, and there's so many RME members scattered throughout the map that they have to focus on assaults from all fronts. Some young guy manages one, but Mr. C takes out its crew in exchange, and Rudy teleporting behind will take out Waffle, and Honeydew's hopes and dreams for this comeback will fall to the wayside, as it's all gonna be a win for RME. Unbelievably dominant.
That felt like something that should have happened about 10 minutes ago, but we saw a fighting chance for Honeydew. We saw them show us maybe some spark of what they can do, but Doppelganger falling down at the start of that round meant the end for them, as RME will go 2-0 in this series, will be 6-2 in the regular season, currently currently tied for second. And now we need to see what happens with Boba next week, as RME have finished the regular season. The next time we'll see them is in playoffs.
Yeah, but we'll be pulling in Wizard here for the post-match interview, which is certainly going to be one that they're excited about, as it was a very dominant series from them. Hello, Wizard. Congratulations on winning Map 2 and securing another win within this league. You guys are certainly performing well.
Yeah, we're doing great, aren't we?
I wanted to ask about sort of the last minute change that we saw inside of this match. We saw Mr. Seed be able to get in for this last map and certainly did well inside of it. So Do you think that was maybe the determining factor on Ascend, as we did see Honeydew start to bring it back?
Yes, and the fact that D-Line plays a Viper on Icebox, so that's why we sub her in instead of
Oh,
Mr.
gotcha.
Seed.
Did you feel any pressure when Honeydew started to actually gather some rounds together, or was it just uh, pretty just confidence all the way through? We did see a timeout from you guys. Was there just a kind of a chill down type thing, or was it just you guys are just too confident?
Yeah, it was more like a wake up call to focus up because we were kind of getting a little too relaxed towards the end there. And it was a good timeout because we were able to refocus up.
And this is your final game of the regular season. That is it for you guys. You finish with a 6-2 record. Uh, Currently tied, I believe, technically for second. Actually, no, you are second by yourselves currently. Boba, if they do win their next match, I believe are ahead of you in map differential. But I just want to ask if there's any teams you're looking forward to versing in the playoffs.
I really want to verse Adrenaline again. They're a really solid team. Their fundamentals are really strong, and I want to be able to beat them. They're the team I had the most fun playing against too.
Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to ask, you guys are heading into your bye this next week before playoffs. Do you guys have any plans with that break that you have?
I'll definitely be training my Odin spray, but we'll definitely be practicing together. We practice a lot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely didn't seem to hold you guys back too much throughout this series. You guys made pretty handy work of Honeydew there, and so now you will propel yourselves into a 6-2 finish inside of the regular league, hoping for possibly a loss from Boba in the next week to secure that second place seed. It's out of your hands at this point. But as for us, we're going to be throwing it, or either going to be ending it here. We'll be back tomorrow for another matchup. That'll be none other than, let me check real quick because I am blanking. It is Periwinkle versus GFU. So certainly an interesting matchup that will be taking place at 9 p.m. EST. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that.
Adios.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized.